إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق, which means I was only sent to complete the good morals and virtues. This is a great hadith. I can extract from it a lot of lessons and points, but due to the time limit, I will extract only 3 points, which is related to our subject. The first one, we can learn from this hadith that the core of the Prophet ﷺ da'wah, the core of his da'wah ﷺ, is to correct, complete, and perfect the good morals and the noble virtues, al-akhlaq, makarim al-akhlaq. And actually, if you look to all the prophets before the Prophet ﷺ, their da'wah, all the prophets' da'wah, was to do 2 things: to guide the people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and simultaneously, at the same time, to correct and to fix a major issue in the people's morals. This is how all the prophets they used to have their da'wah. We need to understand that the good morals and the noble virtues are essential in Islam. It's not just an added benefits. It's not just something complementary. It's something essential. It's part of Islam. And if I want to describe Islam, and I mentioned that in previous khutab over here in this member and another masajid, if I want to describe Islam, I would say that it's like a sphere. It's exactly like a sphere. And it has 3 interconnected layers. The core of that sphere is the belief in Allah. And it's coated, surrounded with a strong layer of good morals and noble virtues, al-akhlaq, which is covered with a 3rd layer, an outer layer. I call it al-ahkam al-shari'ah, ahkam al-sharia, the sharia laws. And this is why, subhanallah, whether in the fiqh or ahkam al-sharia, we call it maqasid al-sharia. If you ask multiple wise, you dig in the upper layer. If you ask multiple wise, you will reach to a moral, akhlaq, the reason of it. And if you ask another 1 or 2 wise, you will reach to iman. This is the whole concept of Islam. And this is why when you read the fiqh, from the book of the fiqh, you don't see that type of relation, because they don't mention to you the moral aspect of it. You see that type of disconnection. But when you read the fiqh from the ayat of the Quran, in the same ayah, you will find ahkam al-sharia there, any hukm or any thing from the sharia, any rules, immediately it's connected in the same ayah with the moral, and at the end of it, it's connected to iman and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's an essential thing in Islam. It's not something complementary. The second thing that the phrase, and it's part of the da'wah, the second thing that I learned from this hadith, the phrase of good morals and noble virtues, makarim al-akhlaq, it refers to the best moral qualities and virtues that the people they should follow. And that include to being truthful, trustworthy, courageous, generous, patient, just, forgiving, and kind to the neighbors and the parents, and many others. But what the people they miss in that aspect, that the good morals, it include how we interact with Allah and with the people, not only with the people. There is a good moral interacting with Allah, and this is the highest priority. To be truthful with the people and not to be truthful with Allah, this is a disaster. To be just with the people and not to be just with Allah, this is a disaster. And that's where I mentioned that it's part of the da'wah, because this is the injustice that the people they did, that they didn't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has a moral aspect. It has a moral aspect of it.